Hey guys, Wes here. I'm going to walk through how I swap the cases out on the keys for my truck. I've got a 2016 F-150 Lariat with push button start. Started by removing these silicone covers I use on my keys. Now I bought my truck used and the keys were pretty beat up. One of the keys, the metal eyelet at the bottom, was broken off, and that's actually the key I use. So it's been kind of a pain to use my key with a key ring. You can see the eBay key, which you can get a set of these, and actually you can see the foil on my existing key is kind of coming apart. So, and then the eBay key does not have the Ford emblem because of copyright, I'm sure. And the fit and finish of the eBay key actually is a little bit better than the Ford key. They feel almost identical. There's just a little bit more of a satin finish on the eyelet on the eBay key. I don't know if the paint will wear off quicker on the eBay key. You can see my Ford key, the paint has actually held up pretty well. Now getting this key apart is kind of tricky. Here I used a screwdriver, like a very sharp screwdriver, to get into the seam. Well, actually you can see here there's a little hook that will hold, that you have to slide out on the back down by the eyelet. Here you can see the hook, and that basically has to rotate up and out. Now this is a brand new case, so it was really difficult to get apart. It's really tight. Older keys that have been taken apart a few times come apart really easily. So here the eBay key comes with a blank for the door. Now here this internal chassis is held in by plastic clips around the edge of the case. You just have to use a screwdriver to pry those apart and pop that out. Now here's the internal rubber or silicone membrane that will hold the circuit board, the PCB, and then it also acts as a spring. Here you can see I'm using my fingernail in that seam as I push the release button with the screwdriver, and that actually works a little bit better than what I did before. Here you can see I'm demonstrating how that locking tab will kind of slide in and rotate under the metal eyelet at the bottom. The silicone is very flexible, so you just slide it off the PCB. And when you put the PCB in the new silicone, all you have to do is pull and stretch the tabs around the edge of the silicone around the circuit board all the way around. You can see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of pulling and wrapping them around. Now look at this assembly at a flat angle, because then you can notice if you've got all the tabs kind of in the right place and holding onto that circuit board. You can see I missed one there and I caught it by looking at it. And then just press and wiggle that PCB into the bottom of the case, and it should go in pretty easily. Now the next part is swapping over the batteries. There's also this little piece of foam that presses against the chip on that PCB, and you can see it's glued to the case, so you could either just scrape it off and glue it to your new case, or here you can see I'm just using some tape and folding it over. It just needs to be held in place. You could probably get away with not transferring this foam to your new case, but it's easy enough, and maybe it'll prevent a rattle or just hold things in tighter. Pop out your battery, pop out your bottom battery. Now these batteries, they should always be replaced in pairs, and you'll have to transfer over this little plastic separator or gasket and then put in your other battery on top. You can see the negative goes up. Place the old key. Now that we've got the key in there, we can place this inside of the case. This is a little tricky because there's plastic tabs around the perimeter, and you basically have to pry those out with a screwdriver to get this internal chassis kind of locked into the case. So once we've got, and it's kind of hard to do that without pressing buttons on it, so you might set off the panic on your truck. So just be close to it. And you can see here I'm sliding this locking tab under that metal eyelet there, and then you rotate it down and then it just snaps. You can just squeeze it together to snap it, and we should be done. So just try the key out, make sure the battery connections are working. Here I'm sliding it back into the silicone case, and then I'm going to put the key ring back on through that eyelet. You can see there's no Ford. This silicone case actually shows the Ford logo through the back, so you kind of miss out on that. And that's all there is to it. Hopefully that was helpful. See you next time.